Hello and a festive greeting from Nyam Nyam. Let's make these Christmas cookies. Start by adding 60 grams of egg white and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice to a bowl. Whisk them together till frothy and add in 400 grams of icing sugar. Add a bit at a time. Then pour in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk until thickened. Split into 2 bowls and add food colouring to each. We've got green and pink. Now pipe icing onto the cookies, white, pink and green. Let them rest for 30 minutes and repeat with Graham's crackers. Let's decorate using green icing to make a swirly tree pattern and red baubles with a star sprinkle on top. Our next design is going to be a snowflake, using white icing to create segments and some detail. Now let's decorate with pink icing and Smarties chopped in half. And finally, let's do a present, creating a ribbon and a bow. Perfect. So why not have a go making these wonderful Christmas cookie designs? Enjoy! Nyam Nyam brings to you 4-way Christmas cookies, a holiday classic. Turn your regular cookies into a reindeer cookie, a gingerbread house, gingerbread man, and some candy canes. Get 100 grams of butter, whisk that up in a mixing bowl, and add 80 grams of icing sugar. Now we're going to add 2 egg yolks to that and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 200 grams of flour then goes into that mixture. Whisk it all up nicely. We're just going to peel it away from the sides of the bowl using a spatula. And there we have it, our cookie dough. We're going to put some flour on a chopping board and place our dough ball on it. We're going to just manipulate it a little bit and then cover it in cling film. Now this is important to keep it fresh and stop it drying out, because next we're going to freeze that for 2 hours. And when it's ready, we're going to flatten it out and cut it in half. You don't have to flatten it too much, just a little bit, and just sort of squeeze it a bit with your hands and then add a few drops of red food colouring, because we want this first half of the dough to be completely red. So we break a little piece off and we roll that into a ball in the palm of our hands. And then roll it into a thin sausage shape. Put that aside for a minute. And we get the second half of our cookie dough, which we haven't coloured. So we're going to do the same, manipulate that a bit in our hands and break a piece off. Now we're going to roll that into a ball and then into a sausage shape, just like we did with the red dough. So now comes the fun part. We're going to put our 2 dough sausages side by side and stick them together, and then we're going to twist. And you get this wonderful candy cane effect. Brilliant. And then all we need to do to perfect it is just curl over the end. And there you have it, a perfect candy cane shaped cookie. Bake that for 15 minutes at 150 degrees. Super fast, super easy. And there, it's ready to go. Gorgeous Christmassy candy cane cookies. For our next recipe, we need 100 grams of butter and 80 grams of icing sugar. Just as before, the same cookie dough base, 2 egg yolks. Whisk that all up together. Add 200 grams of flour, 20 grams of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder into that. Using your electric whisk, just mix that all together. Press it together using a spatula. Again, making our dough ball, flouring our board, and rolling out our chocolate cookie dough. Lovely. Cover that in cling film. Just as before, we're going to freeze that for 2 hours. Now, once it's ready, we're going to put it back on our chopping board and roll it out. Rolling it quite thinly, ready for our gingerbread man cookie cutter. Removing the excess and repeating the process until you have enough cookies. Now we add a little ball of foil in the middle, so we're going to fold over the gingerbread man's arms using a knife, very carefully sticking them down. Now that goes in the oven at 150 degrees for 15 minutes. rising nicely, and once it's ready you can take it out, remove the foil, and it's time to decorate using royal icing through a food piping bag, which is going to put on our facial features. A smile, of course, and how about some socks? Anything else you might like to add? Maybe some buttons? Now, the reason we stuck his arms down earlier on that little ball of foil was so we could make a space to place the lovely candy cane in the middle. This gingerbread man comes bearing gifts. For our third and final recipe, we get some basic cookie dough, make it the same way as you made it last time, roll it out flat on a chopping board, and cut out some house shapes with a cookie cutter. We're going to use several different cookie cutter shapes here, so one for the main shape of the house, 2 rectangles and 2 squares. Now remove the excess. Those are going to bake in the oven for 15 minutes at 150 degrees, just like the other 2. Once those are ready, we need to build our house. We're going to use royal icing to stick together the pieces to make our house shape. So, royal icing is kind of an edible glue in this recipe, sticking on our square-shaped cookies for the sides. Carefully sticking them on. A bit more royal icing goes on there, and we add the other side of the house. There. Then of course we need to add our rectangles for the roof panels. I always find this kind of recipe very therapeutic. I love making things, and especially things that I can eat. So now our roof is finally on, we're just going to seal it all together. Yum! And we're going to use some pink buttercream icing to make this a very girly house, and we're going to add lots of hearts. So it has a very pretty, delicate look about it, with the white and the pink against the cookie. You can have fun with this. Get the kids to join in. A little bit of a dotty pattern there over the rim of the door. How about some windows? But why stop at the basics? Decorations and zigzags going on there, just to disguise our glued pieces. Some more hearts on the roof, a bit bigger this time. You can be creative, you can use any different colours you like, you can even stick chocolate on it or bits of candy, even hundreds and thousands if you want to give it a nice rainbow effect. Really, whatever takes your fancy. We're sticking to pretty in pink. These beautiful delicate cookies can sit perfectly on the rim of our mug. Absolutely fantastic for dipping. Right, for our final recipe, we're adding 100 grams of butter to a mixing bowl and whisking that up. Now we're going to add 50 grams of brown sugar this time. That's 50 grams, not 80 grams as before in the last recipes. We're going to whisk that up with 1 egg, a whole egg this time, egg white and yolk, not only the yolks. Now to that we're going to add 200 grams of flour and half a teaspoon of ginger and cinnamon powder. Whisking it all together and scraping it away from the sides of our mixing bowl, and there you have your cookie dough. Using an ice cream scoop we're going to take that out. Looks delicious already. Placing that in our hands, we like the hands-on approach here, and rolling it to get the desired shape, slightly squeezing it and patting it down a little bit, placing that on our baking tray, which we've covered in baking paper to avoid sticking. Stick that in the oven for 15 minutes at 150 degrees, just like the other recipes. Now our cookie's ready, time to decorate using M&Ms. 2 chocolate M&Ms for the eyes, 1 red one for the nose. Now for the fun part, let's get some pretzels and dip them in melted dark chocolate. Yummy! You can use milk or white if you like, but we like dark. We're going to stick those onto the top of our cookie, 1 on each side. And there you have the antlers. Don't forget the mouth. How about a royal icing smile? Brilliant. That's one happy reindeer wishing you a Merry Christmas.